Hi. Hello, everyone. This is Scratch and Jack, your host for the Amazing Plastic Sunday Hangout. This is the extension of the Amazing Plastic Google Plus community of scale modelers of all shapes and sizes, interests, genres, and skill levels who like to share their tips and tricks with one another and revel in one another's scale modeling achievements. And as always, starting to my alphabetical Google left to right, that would be first Heath. There is no A, B, C, D's, E's, F's, G's. You got all right. You're with the H. How you doing there, Heath?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm gonna get you, Austin Powers.
You give a man a haircut, and he thinks he's a movie star.
Yeah. How are you, Dick?
I'm doing good. What would you like? What are you doing today on your phone? You had a whole day since yesterday.
I've taken photos, but I haven't shown this online yet, on live yet.
That's because it's dirty.
No, it's a 3-pack of bikes.
Oh, you got that 3-bike kit.
You've got the Honda, the Suzuki, and the Yamaha. All in separate kits. And snap tie. Complete with paints and glue. That's one. Number two. An IndyCar. And that is this is a level 2. And it's from Ravan. And I'll be probably doing this one today.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, can't wait to get that one started. Next!
So that's it. That's it for you. Nothing else. How's it going over there at the Ala Misfit Model Builders?
Oh, we're doing well. That's coming up this Saturday night. Coming up. That'll be a good one.
Okay. I heard
Also,
the Halloween extravaganza was awesome.
That was fun.
Oh, it's as I said on Saturday night. It started off slow, but then it picked up. It picked up, and when it picked up, it was just kept on going and going and going and going.
You couldn't get Jay to shut up.
Jay, I wasn't even there, but
no. Dr. Von Kripp was there, and he kept on saying, "Bite me to people."
Yeah, well, he's rude. You got to understand. He had a bad upbringing, you know.
He's lucky that Vader didn't force choke him.
His mother used to send him off to movies when he was 6 years old just to get him out of her hair, you know. So, oddly enough, that's true.
Next up, we have after H, we have J. Hello, James.
Hello. Good evening there, Jack.
Doing very well, thank you. And you got a lot to show today, you know.
I have a bit to show that I finally, this weekend, have finished my T-Max Maxi scooter.
Oh, that was brilliant. I saw pictures of that this morning.
You know something? I'm going to. Can you screen share that for us?
Yeah, I probably can.
Yeah. So you got the figure done.
Yeah.
This weekend, you glue arms, legs, a head onto a torso.
Yeah.
It's almost like a serial killer in reverse. But when you see it, it's actually quite awesome, and I should have gave you a heads up for this. I'm just afraid to screen share myself because I might disappear, and you all will be very happy, and I can't make you guys happy.
All right,
Talk about
just let's just what we let's pick one here. Okay.
I always encourage screen sharing. It's always good to know what we're talking about here, even though sometimes it sounds like we're not in the know what we're talking about. Oh, okay, maybe.
Start here.
That's sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Where did you get clear paper?
Where did I get clear paper?
Looks very nice. You got other shots besides that? I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I do. Okay.
Right now, in the middle there's a left arrow, right arrow.
Yeah, just.
And I think if it's that's Microsoft. I think you can even click onto the image.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Yes, there we are.
Very nice. So I thought perhaps when you originally finished it, was missing a rider. Did the rider come with the kit?
The rider came with the kit. Yeah.
Nice. Looks like he's going to drive right off of that wood plaque.
That short road.
Short road.
It is a short road.
You had a close up of his face, I think.
Yeah, I think there's this one on the side.
Yeah.
And the front view.
You know what? That looks like a. You know what, James? That looks like a moustacheless Jack. I'm not kidding. Looks like a moustacheless Jack.
So the plastic was already that color. You didn't even have to paint it.
Yeah, the most of the black was already done and the yellow was done, but other parts needed different shades of black, or they needed to be flat from the semi-gloss, so they were all painted in order to give the appropriate shades, and then the detail painting and that done in there for the brakes and the calipers and all that stuff were all added.
Mm-hmm.
That is cool.
That is very nice.
I like that a lot.
And you've made the presentation very nicely. I mean, it doesn't take that much more room up on a shelf, and you can nicely.
No.
It's a diorama. I think when we think of dioramas, we think of something we see in a museum, but this is certainly defined as a diorama.
That's certainly as a diorama, and you figure it's only on a 6-inch oval, so I mean it's plenty. It doesn't take up a lot of space on a shelf.
Mm-hmm. Not at all. And the way I see it, it looks like he's having a ride down in England somewhere.
Yeah, I know. It's on the wrong. Look, you feel it's on the wrong side of the road, or it's on a small, narrow rural road. Yeah. I know. I was thinking about that today. He's going in the opposite direction, but
Right.
I says, "Well, I didn't design the kit, but that's the design of the lean on the kit." So.
Right.
Oh, he's a motorcycle rider.
You know, to me, it's a Japanese company, and the Japanese do drive on that side of the road. So.
Yeah.
Or if you're in a hurry, you can cut many miles off of a road trip by cutting the corners on the wrong side. You don't have double yellow lines, just a suggestion.
If they're rural roads, you can get away with it, but that's about it. Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing, James.
You're welcome.
And next up, we have the other Jay, Jay.
JJ.
Hola.
And what do you have going about?
I've been shooting a lot of video for the next episode. I've been doing some work on the Buck Rogers Marauder. For example, I removed those spaces in the back here because they were wrong. They've got to go in and up differently, and they're a little different shape, and they're not supposed to have a big notch in them.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got putty on there right now that's curing. I'm going to be rebuilding these areas and such. I'm just going to rebuild the panels that go here because the ones that come with it are just too wrong to work with. On the bottom of it, I've been putting some detail on that is supposed to be there.
Oh, that's looking sweet.
And a lot of little greebly bits have got to go in certain places, but all these holes were actually, all these holes on here were originally little bumps, and they're supposed to be holes. That's the weird thing about this kit. There are so many places on it where things are sticking out that are supposed to be pulled in, and vice versa. So it's kind of bizarre. I rebuilt the cockpit. I hit it with some gray primer. Originally, the window came all the way down to here, and it's not supposed to. It's supposed to end right there and have this framework around it. So I put the framework on. I put a little detail material here, opened this up. To be completely honest, this raised bit right here is supposed to be sunken in, but I don't know that it would really be all that practical to try to do that. I haven't decided
well,
yet.
I was just thinking that perhaps bumps and raised areas like that are easier to cast by the model company than dimples and recessed areas.
Yeah, I think that what happened, honestly, was I think that they received a couple of photographs of the thing and were told to make a model from that, and that's what they looked like in the photographs. I also made a couple of these pieces that will go back on the back of the these are not engines, these are the laser cannon that stick out the sides, and I made a more accurate piece that will fit there. And then the kit comes with 4 fins that go on, and there's supposed to be 6. Like I said, a lot of little changes are going on to it, but I am going to light the engines, and I'm going to probably light the laser cannon so that push a button and they flash. Simple, very simple board would do it. I don't even know that I need a board. I could probably just get by with some flickering LEDs for the engine and possibly some flashing LEDs for the laser cannon, because they don't fire at a high speed rate. They fire, pretty low speed. So I'll play around. We'll see.
Right. Well, thanks, Jay. Next up, we have Mike at nearly mile high or high nearly a mile. I don't know, whichever it is. So what's up there, Mike?
Oh, I've been working on all my sundry modeling projects, which are too numerous to explain. But I have shot this multiple times to try and get a stainless steel, not chrome look.
Right.
And I finally got the Vallejo to shoot because I changed guns, and this thing here at 20 psi really knocks the it puts it down without the metallic sticking up. That was the problem I was having before, and now it looks like a stainless steel body. It doesn't look like a chrome body.
That would be the DeLorean car, am I right?
Yeah, they came with stainless steel bodies.
Yeah, I had that problem with the Cobra, but it's not metallic. I think there was metallic components to it, and it came out pretty coarse, but I didn't sand it down. I could have got 1,000 grit paper over it, but I didn't do that. Some paints do go on, and it's not that you're splattering it on. You're doing everything right, but you're right. There's raised parts of the coat of paint.
Well, it's dependent on impact. How quickly the stuff, if it has a natural flow out, if it'll flow out, and how quickly it dries. If it dries before that stuff gets a chance to lay down, you have to go and do it again. That's right. Quick drying is not your favorite thing. You want it to flow out. All the metallic pieces, actually they're probably pieces of mica or something, we don't know, to lay down and then dry. Thank you very much.
Right, but I have found, I use Vallejo, and I do have, a 20 psi, probably a little more, probably a couple pounds more than 20. And even that I buy the Air, and you advise me just to buy the regular Vallejo paint and just thin it yourself. I had found that I have better results, that even a couple more drops of thinner, even in the Air variety of Vallejo paint, would be needed. And I found that especially true with the primer that Vallejo has. I thin that stuff pretty far down, so that it's much more fluid coming through the airbrush.
I agree that With the metallics, the only reason you're raising the pressure over 15 or 10 psi is to get that heavy weight of whatever it is that makes the metallic look to come out of the gun with the paint and not separately.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you hope. And I have found this is a 0.35, or yeah, I think that's right, or it's 3.5.
No, it's not 3.5. It's
Yeah,
0.35.
It's something. Anyway, I took it apart to investigate some of the things that I wanted to find out about it, and to clean it because somehow I neglected to do a proper job. I can't understand that. I'll screen share a shot of the inner guts.
Mm-hmm. And what brand is that?
It's a Neo.
Okay.
Neo.
Well, it's not exactly a Neo. Screen share. Screen share. Come on. Be nice. Sometimes.
Yeah, well, we're looking at Jack again. Cool.
Oh,
sometimes.
Vaseline!
That's what I found inside. There's, on the nozzle, there's a brass piece that screws into these threads here. That's the dirt and crud that I had to clean out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, that's a gravity feed.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And it's a two-stage, and it's called the Neo 4 Iwata TRN1. And then the other TR thing is it's a siphon. There's a siphon one also. And now I hear that somebody might be coming out with a side feed for this. I'm not sure. But the mixing chamber of the air, that's the air ports. That's where the paint comes out here. The mixing chamber seems to be fairly large. So I think that's why we can get away with the metallic things a little easier with it. Maybe. I'll continue to document what I find. I don't have a good picture of, okay, this is normal to take off, that's normal to take off. This back here is not so normal to take off. It takes a big wrench. I use a crescent. And I had not taken this piece back here off before. And I'm not going to pull out that little, what appears to be neoprene. I'm trying not to scratch it, not touch it, not harm it in any way, turn it or anything. But this nozzle, you saw there was 2 holes for the air?
Yeah.
The brass piece here, which is chrome-plated, has 4 holes. So, and I'm trying to find out if there's a gap. If there's a gap, then that's mixing the air.
Right.
And that could be to our advantage. You know, an actual Neo doesn't have that chamber, so you can't take it apart like that.
Well, a siphon feed is what I use, and I find that it gets clogged, but it's air passing over a nozzle. It's very much what an atomizer is. If you know what an atomizer is, it's a channel of air over an opening that pulls up a vacuum and, of course, pulls the paint up and then, of course, sprays it. So I don't have the problem that you have, that inside the chambers of my PASH is just air. There's no paint never ever goes in there, you know.
Exactly, and that's the advantage to, like, what are they called? PASH H and a PASH C?
PASH H and C's, yes.
H and C's, and they're a wonderful thing to have.
They are great airbrushes. They've been around forever.
You can get
they really haven't changed much in 50 years because they don't need to.
Yes.
You know.
I just need to get new parts because they're all worn out.
Yeah, but you can get replacement parts at Hobby Lobby for that thing.
Oh, yes, you can.
You know.
Yes, you can. You can even get it from Amazon, I found. But
Well, they're cheaper
the
from
parts,
Amazon.
I found that the number 4, which is a wider nozzle, is great for priming, and the number 2, not even quite the 1. The 2 is great for fine finishes.
Yeah.
The priming, this is the Badger primer,
Mm-hmm.
and they recommend a 0.5.
Right.
Yeah.
Because this is a sandable. This thing weighs, and they say it's ready to spray. And I stuck a toothpick in and pulled it out, put it on a piece of plastic, and watched it, and it didn't move. So I don't think it's ready to spray, despite what they say.
Well, I'd be honest. I would love to have an ultrasound cleaner.
Yeah, I was going to ask, has anybody got one that likes it?
Yeah, I use one.
Okay, now I was watching Dr. Cranky do his. I'm online. That's my friend John, and he'll have to understand. I can turn that off. Hey.
We'll get to yet, Wayne. We'll get to you yet, Wayne. We'll just do a moment.
Anyway, he said he had to cycle his constantly. He'd put it on, and then it'd run for a little bit, and then he'd have to do it again and again, all during the evening to get anywhere. Is that true?
I have one that'll shut itself off and then turn itself back on, because when it runs, when an ultrasonic cleaner runs, it cleans with two things. First off, it heats up the water. The sound waves, are creating friction, and that will heat up the liquid. Well, I said water, but the liquid in there. And the second is the pulsation of the sound waves, and it'll actually heat the water up or the liquid up, and if that gets too warm, it's not good for what might be in there, so it automatically shuts down until it cools down to a point, and then it cycles by itself. Now, I bought this thing 20-some years ago, and it stopped working for a while, so I took it apart, and I discovered that the sound emitter had actually come off of the base, so I just glued it back on with epoxy, which is what they used originally, and it's back to running like new. I know that you can get an ultrasonic cleaner from like Harbor Freight for about $30, or even less.
Yeah.
I don't know if it has an automatic shutoff or not. But the big problem is
brass parts. If you're cleaning brass parts from a pache or some other airbrush thing that's covered in paint, dry paint or less, it doesn't matter how hot it gets.
Well, no, not really, but it could damage. That it can actually get hot enough to melt the plastic. On the unit. So I would imagine it has an automatic shutoff, but.
Well, you're saying that it'll probably boil away the fluid that you have in there.
Yeah, there is that. It can boil it away, and it's not really good to have it running without liquid in it.
Right.
The part I want to clean is the tiny little end orifice where there's nothing, no brush or anything can go through it. It's too small. The only thing that can go in there is a sharp-ass needle.
Well, one thing that you can do is take just like from some cotton, like from a cotton ball, just pull off a little chunk of the fibers and wrap that around the end of a needle of your actual spray needle. Wrap it around that and put some lacquer thinner on it, and then you can get that in there and just stick it in and spin it and everything, and keep doing that until the cotton comes out clean.
Okay.
That does work, but an ultrasonic cleaner is really nice because that just takes
that cleans
all the gunk out of it. It really cleans it well.
And then I understand you're not to put cubic zirconium rings in there because it will destroy them.
Put what in?
A cubic zirconium ring. Oh, fake diamonds. Don't put that in.
Well, I really don't have any desire to do that, so.
We better give Wayne a shot here, huh?
Yeah, how you doing, Wayne?
Hello, morning. I just got back from Telford yesterday. So, do you want to see what I bought?
Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, just give yourself a little less headroom and down a little bit. There you go.
Yeah.
Hellcat.
Oh, sweet.
Okay.
Also, I moved out of my comfort zone as well.
You're building a starship?
No.
That's out of my comfort zone too.
Oh,
Nice.
I have that
Nice.
model.
Honey,
Guess how much? Guess how much it cost?
10
pounds.
I got it. It was $17.99.
Nice.
Got it for £10.
That's sweet.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's sweet. It's a nice. I haven't built it, but I have one of those, and it's a nice model.
Yeah.
They're expensive. Those aren't cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I look at them every now and then.
Uh-huh.
Revell's coming out with some decent models. They used to be, back in the 70s, Revell was kind of a joke when it came to model kits.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, now they're just on AMT. Huh.
now it's AMT. Yeah.
Well, speaking of AMT, what I am working on right now is after the Cobra, which is an AMT, well, MPC, but it might as well be AMT. But this is actually a pretty fine-fitting model. And I had just finally got a whole bunch of LEDs, 4 exactly, and 4 guns to be on the edge of the wing here. And boy, there's a pretty big reflection off my screen here. Let's see.
We can
there
see
you
that.
go.
We can see
it.
And this is, of course, the front. And if you see little fiber optics sticking out of there, you're right. And those are going to be the, I don't know, what would you call them? Firings. Firings. Yeah. Well, so that's a 1 millimeter LED, and it's gone through a piece of styrene, and at the end there to make it a little thicker, according to what it's supposed to be, a little thicker with some brass tubing. And inside, oh boy, there's some light leak. Amazing. I'm pretty surprised there's a light leak there. It's a 5 millimeter LED, and I did paint the LED with a dark color, but I can't really have it on for too long because of the resistor inside will get too hot. But that's what I've been doing for the past day and the past hour today. I didn't do any real modeling today. I was away and feeling sick too. I went to see a movie, Interstellar. If you're into a very intellectual sci-fi, Interstellar would be up your alley if you like that stuff.
I've got a screen share. I've got a screen share of my latest acquisitions.
Okay, very good. Go right ahead.
Okay.
It's not no bother that I would do it because it's always news.
These lovely kits here.
Oh, yeah. Can you zoom in?
I'll try to.
That would be Central Plus, I guess.
Well, let me put it this way. Here's the kicker. Okay, I saw this, and I managed to get these 30 for $39 American.
Nice.
And then they decided to kick in $38 for the postage. So in Australian, that cost me $81.50.
Yikes.
Ouch.
All 3 of them?
All 3 of them.
Is that including shipping?
That is including shipping.
Okay, very good. Okay, yeah, well, that will turn out to be how much?
$67.40 in American.
Oh, no, the American can't be that good a comparison to Australian. I thought Australian is probably, like a few cents a dollar per dollar. What did you say, Australian?
$81.50 Australian.
It'll probably be about $78 American.
Yeah.
So, what, 78 divided by 4, we're talking about maybe $23. $26 a kit, $27 American. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
Now, what I'm actually thinking of doing is I want to keep two. And the two I want to keep are the green and yellow one, the city one, and the mellow yellow one.
The orange one you don't want?
The orange one I'm going to give away to someone, or I'll have a competition, and we'll have to think of a competition, and whoever wins that gets the Hardee's.
Well, my birthday's coming up next month.
So's mine.
Well, here we go. Hands up, ready. Anybody else?
Well, Christmas is coming for everybody, so.
These won't get to my place until, as you can see with the date, the 1st of December or 2. Yeah. But the way I've checked it, it's already in transit, so it left America on the 8th, so we'll have to wait and see.
Uh-huh.
But no, that's my latest acquisition. Some NASCAR. From actually my favourite movie. From actually my favourite NASCAR movie. So.
Well,
there's Talladega Nights, but I didn't like that.
I see. Well, I'd like to do this screen share business. I didn't do much. I did just only one, Jay. I screen shared your reference for the Galactica, and we were talking about the color of the Galactica compared to the pictures or what we actually saw on TV. Somebody had said that the original series Galactica was a lot whiter than darker gray.
Yeah, it is. The original series Galactica was a very light gray.
Very light gray. It wasn't like a battleship gray which would be a lot darker.
No, it's a very light gray, and oh, you're yawning, man. You're gonna fall asleep again.
No. I've got a Red Bull here. I'm fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was a much lighter gray than it looked, because it looked dark gray on TV, but it was actually a very, very light gray.
Right, we were talking about how light hits a model, because on TV they use, even in Star Wars, they use natural light, and it gave you the extreme shadows between black and white, and it gave more dimensions, and more, should we say, more mass, more scale to the models. And that's what they did on Galactica.
That's the thing about the Galactica. I mean, don't get me wrong, I liked the original series, and I liked that ship, but when you get so many close-ups of the details that are actually on the ship, it's so obvious that that model was thrown together as fast as possible. You know, they were gluing down. There's tons of model tanks on that thing, and tons of just there's parts from other kits. There's Saturn V parts on there, and there's even water and gasoline cans from model kits onto that thing. So
that's right. Liam was saying something about it on Saturday.
Well, we were just moving over to Liam. I'm screen sharing, and although if you're not into Star Wars or any sci-fi, this particular project that he's doing would be of interest to all scale modelers. This is the Hasbro version of the Millennium Falcon that they released just recently, and I think he's got 2 kits, or actually not even kit. It's a toy.
Four.
Okay, 4, and it's a toy, and it's not a model kit. And the thing about this is that it's not styrene plastic; it's a vinyl plastic. And if I were to go to the next picture here, he shows us what he has used. I don't know what Halliford's plastic primer is, but apparently it is a primer that would adhere to a vinyl surface. A vinyl surface tends to be pretty oily and slick. Oh, look at that, a bathtub in Ireland. I've never seen one. But he is saying that he is actorizing it and going to make it a model. Have any of you bought something that's not quite like that, but had bought a toy and perhaps even actorized it?
Yes.
I bought a large. There was a toy of the Eagle from Space 1999 years back that was about 3 feet long, and it was reasonably accurate. And of course, this was a long time ago, and my skill levels were not to the degree. But I make a lot of props and such out of toys.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the props in the Von Crypt lab are actually toys. The orthoscope, the thing that the doctor holds up to his eye and looks in your ear and looks in your eyes with. I made one of those, but I actually used a plastic squirt gun as the base of the handle, turned upward and such. So yeah.
We've lost Jack's picture.
Oh, I'm here. I'm going to fix it. I don't know. See, that's why I don't want to screen share because of this happening. But since I'm going to be screen sharing, you don't have to look at my ugly mug.
Mm-hmm.
So the next thing I'm going to screen share is something that Nick Valdez did. He had interest in this new paint from Testors. It's an acrylic base, and I went to my local Michael's, and they didn't have it. Does anybody has any experience on this?
No.
They carry it at my the hobby store I go to most of the time. I have not bought any yet, but
Yeah.
I've looked on a couple of different forums, and people are raving about it. They're saying it's great paint.
Well,
So
they come with opaque, they have washes, they have transparents, and then they have this pearlescence that sci-fi builders use a lot. And in fact, a car builder used a pearlescent on one of his kits, and it really, he said it gave a dimension to his, just read the comments on this post on our Google Plus community. So I just thought somebody may have had experience on it.
I haven't used it, but I'm going to try it because it's a good price and it's a big bottle. It's a 2-ounce bottle, which is a lot more paint than you usually get.
Well, that would probably cost me about nearly $20.
I think I saw at Hobby Lobby some adapters to adapt those bottles to your siphon feed airbrushes.
That could be.
I don't know if that's true, if that's what those were, but they did say Testors. And they were 4 times the price of the generic it's always in the way. Why don't I see it now? Oh. No, that's not it. Anyway, there's one with a black screw cap that's similar to these models. There it is. And this was half the price of the little 3-pack of Testors ones I saw.
Mm.
And I don't know if these caps will fit on. They'll fit on a lot of different ones. But I don't know if they'll fit on the Testors. It would be nice not to have to decant the bottle to use it to paint.
Well, that kit that Jack showed, I'm just checking real quick here on Amazon, and that kit with the 6 paints, the color wheel, and the manual is $27.96, which is a pretty good price.
Yeah.
And they've even got an 11 color kit, the same type thing, all transparent.
Uh-oh.
It's not me, it's him.
It's not me, it's
Jay.
He's frozen.
It's Jay. I'm
What am
just
I
missing. Oh, there you are. You
froze for a bit.
And Jack's still sharing. You're blanked out, or do I have to click on your? No.
Are you still there, Jay? I don't think Jay is there. So.
That individual bottle is $4.50 a piece.
Okay.
Feels like hardened carbonite.
I remember Testors, with their little bottles. They always had various and sundry little sets, 4, 5, 9 little sets, and it was always much more economical to buy those sets than it was the individual models.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I want to screen share something from our good friend Chris Pandoff. And he has done the Batman figurine. Speaking of paint, how does one get that flesh tone?
Practice.
Yeah.
Very big practice.
Yeah, look at the eyes.
Look at the eyes. Yeah.
The eyes have a nice
They look
gloss.
right
To them.
through you.
The eyes have a nice gloss to them.
That is absolutely amazing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, there's a lot of the different paint companies that for the little miniatures where the gamers, the table gamers, and they produce some really good quality flesh tones.
Yeah.
And that's
And
layered.
that stand lights up.
The stand lights up.
The stand lights up.
That is good paint. That is very good paint.
That's a damn fine piece of kit.
Yeah, look at the shoulder wear, the wear, and it's really well done.
Yeah.
That is well done.
The cape's a little bit longer. The cape, if that's from Batman Returns, which I think it is, the cape's a little bit longer. I think. I'm not quite sure. I might be wrong. Because it's meant to come around, because the cape's meant to come around from the shoulder, and then you see the symbol, but then the cape's supposed to come around and sort of like make him look like he's just standing there.
Mm-hmm.
It looks folded back over. I
Yeah.
think it looks excellent. And, I'm always amazed. See, I've got to start on a skin tone. No, these are not so easy. Okay, my next layer is going to have it's rosy flesh. It's going to have that's a Vallejo color. I'm going to get it as thin as I can so that I can just spritz it on.
Yeah, you just want to mist it on in layers.
Yeah, you want it. You want the other ones to show through. And I'll hold him. Now, I didn't do there on purpose. I haven't done the lower part of the eyelids and the lower lip because, like those guys, see, you want to highlight the lower lip as if light's on it, and you want to darken underneath the eyes. That is very well done.
Yes.
It's in layers. The cheekbones and all that. Some of these people are really amazing.
Yeah, apparently there's a neighbor of mine who paints figures and sells them. I've known I've come across two people whose husbands do this, and they do it for money. And if you're this good, sure.
No, it's a skill set all on its own.
It is.
I mean, can you imagine trying to do just that chin strap and get the little metal buckle? I mean, even with your best magnifier, it can't be easy to hold.
Well, a lot of times they'll use like a silver colored pencil or something to do certain things because, you know, it just allows you that really fine detail, and paint at that level is really a pain. So I always admire people who have that kind of skill level.
At my local hobby shop, there's people there taking lessons on painting those little figures. And I thought about it, but I just don't have the time to go over there. And I go in there to get glue, and somehow I come back with $17, $18, $20, $25, $30, maybe $60 worth of glue. Oh, no, wait a minute. Those are the kits that I could not walk past.
Yeah, that's the way it works.
We're hoarders. We like to collect model kits.
No, you know, I don't want to be on that TV show. Absolutely not.
I want to be on one that Sexy Beast. That's the one I want to be on.
Oh, is that what it is? Well, I do have one more screen share. I do have one more screen share that I have before I get my image back here. I see you guys like my image. This is Kim Andrews' Google Plus. No, that's not working, is it? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Kim Andrews' Google Plus, and she is absolutely passionate about the refit Enterprise from the Star Trek movie series, not the original series, the movie series.
Yeah.
And she had embarked on the reproduction of the reproduction of the studio model. And this is her Indiegogo page. And she wants to raise enough funds to reproduce the movie Enterprise, because the owner of it will not even allow it to be photographed. And also, there have been some effort into redoing that particular model. But as Jay would say, take it away, Jay.
Yeah, the owner doesn't want it restored, and unfortunately, it's not in a condition that really should be viewed. It's in pretty bad shape, and so Kim's project, which I am very happy to be a part of, is to, using the same construction methods for the most part, is to recreate the studio model. In fact, we're doing two of them because there were two models used. The first one is the big, it's 8 foot long, beautiful, close-up model, and then there is a 24-inch model that was used for, actually more shots than the other, but they're built in a very specific way, and this is not a kit. We're not making kits. This is a reproduction of that studio model so that people have a chance to see it. The only studio model of the Enterprise really that anyone can see right now is the one that is being restored at the Smithsonian. That's the original TV series model. And so the idea is to raise money, and it's a 3-stage process. The first stage is mainly towards getting the equipment necessary to create CAD layouts and things like that. Also, the owner of the actual studio model has granted to allow us to come in and take measurements so that really super accurate measurements of that model can be taken. And so that's good. That would make it the most accurate that it can be.
A handheld scanner would be nice.
Yeah, and the idea is to.
Is the video coming through?
Not yet.
No, it's not coming through. It's not allowing me to share it.
No, it isn't.
Okay.
But the idea is to recreate this so that the fans can see it, and it would start off basically going around the country, different maker fairs, different museums, and things like that. And after touring the country, it will be donated. Probably, I don't want to guess where, but it'll be donated to a museum that caters to science fiction and such. And in fact, there's already been a couple that are showing interest. And the interest that's being shown is amazing. We've got Rick Berman and Doug Drexler are both very behind it. In fact, they've given us things to offer as perks, and that's just wonderful.
I think that this is an incredible undertaking, developed by Kim and by yourself, Jay. And to be quite honest, I can't personally wait to see this thing being built.
Yeah, neither can I. I mean,
that's the ship. That's the ship grew up with.
Does there have to be? Is it kind of like some of these other things where if they don't raise enough money, it vaporizes as a project?
This one is set up. This one is set up so that any money raised does go towards the project.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I did talk to Kim about this, and this was like last year. And I said, wouldn't it be nice to reproduce it just as a model builder? But I said there have to be, not going to be able to be expensive, but there have to be ulterior motive to it. And she agreed when we talked about well, I talked about myself really because I always been fascinated with astronomy. You know, Star Trek was the one that really propelled me into those interests, and I keep up with those things that are going on. But I was never encouraged to excel at math or science. And I thought if there was something there in my past that would have encouraged me instead of having the kids make fun of me having that interest. Perhaps future generations can be inspired, and perhaps we can reach for the impossible, which is defying physics. Without knowing what it's all about, we need to. I really believe in what Kim is doing. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
oh, sorry, Jay.
Well, I was just going to say that it's I am the chief model builder on the project, but that doesn't mean I'll be the only person working on it.
No.
You know, we're going to have help from all over the place to get it going, and but the idea, the only change that we're planning on making in the way it's being built is the use of LEDs rather than grain of wheat bulbs and neon tubes like the original had.
Right.
Because the original could only be run for a short time before it had to be shut down because of the heat generated by the neon tubes.
Grain of wheat bulbs are not lightweight on heat.
Yeah, and grain of wheat bulbs and such. So that would be the only change. The rest of it would be just like the original. It would be made with vacuum-formed parts over an aluminum structure, and the mounting points will all be exactly the same. What we are trying to recreate is if you were to take this thing and go back in time, they could use it.
Right.
So.
And to be quite honest, I am all for, I mean, being a Star Trek fan, I am all for the expansion of human presence outward.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we need to inspire those brains that can do the job, because quite frankly, my brain's got too old.
You need to stop worrying about flame and war and start thinking about peace.
Well, you think about how many things
I have a modeling thing.
Yeah, how many things have we got nowadays that were directly inspired by people's interest in Star Trek? How many astronomers and scientists have become astronomers and other scientists because of their interest in Star Trek? Exactly, the cell phone.
Well, the design of the cell phone, the iPad, and the personal computer, you can't trace it back to Star Trek. And I think, though, because of the recent world events, that kids are afraid to go to school because what's on their mind? Shooting each other.
Yeah.
Microwave ovens is one of the first, and Velcro. I think Velcro was maybe one of the first that they admitted that we were taking from the space program. They weren't promoting space programs at the time it came out.
Velcro was invented by a guy from Switzerland who went out to the woods I think he's a bird hunter, with his dog, and his dog came back with burrs, and he took a look at why it was so attracted to his fur.
Yeah, but it was added as a thing in the space program. It was grabbed up.
Yeah, but my point in saying that is that he engineered nylon to do what it does, what the burrs do. It has little hooks on the end. Yeah. And he invented the process to do that, and he basically gave it away. He was paid for it, but he gave it away, and of course the space program is one program that benefited from most.
Mm-hmm.
And then further, it went out from the space program. They promoted the thing. At one time, they weren't promoting the space program. Then all of a sudden, they said, well, look at all these cool things we can do. Let's get them out there. And the wonderful Hasselblad, became available.
Hammers, yeah.
There was a myriad of things that they got out there, but unfortunately, no one put the tag on it as used in NASA. You know, they just
unless it was Tang.
Yeah. But there's another thing. There's another dimension to this project too, Jay. Isn't it about saying to kids, you know, yeah, you can make things with this mouse, but you can make things with a pair of these as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Because we're not, you know, there will be 3D printers and things like that involved, but they're not being used to make the final model. They might be used to create smaller pieces so that they're easier to mold, or you know, make test runs of things. But it's actually
prototype.
Yeah, it's prototype. It's all hands-on work that is going to be building this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I had a comment that I wanted to make, and I forgot about it until now. I'm sorry I ran so late. But I was doing research on how I could get somebody to make a model. Jay told me to go to one place, and there was a recommendation place, or a place where you could suggest a model. And the place I ended up was Hasegawa.
Mm-hmm.
At the Hasegawa side, they allow you to, within 200 characters, make a suggestion. And then you have to do the I'm not a robot thing, type in what you see. And then I was going to leave, and I saw this thing, discontinued models or products, and I clicked on that, and just scrolled and scrolled and scrolled and saw two things that I wanted and things like that. So I can recommend going to Hasegawa.com and exploring, go around it. I didn't sign up with them, but I did sign up for their newsletter. It's if you're a modeler, they've got everything: armor, cars, space, planes, figures, engines. They got stuff, boats. Hasegawa's of interest to all us modelers.
Yeah.
Even if we can't afford them.
Well, we got to take our inspiration, and I think when we receive inspiration, we should return it to where it came. I'm a true believer in a cycle of things of the universe, you know. So Kim's project, as well as all the projects that we work are inspired by something or someone. So I think it's an appropriate thing to really look at this project, not because you're a science fiction fan, but because you're a model builder and because you want to try to inspire others in a field that perhaps you didn't have an ability, like myself. But I think if I can inspire a kid who's got the noggin to do the things that I can't do, I mean, we all can't be model builders. We all can't be, you know, athletes. We all can't be, you know what I'm saying? It's just that an athlete inspires us to persevere if we're sick with cancer or something. It could be as simple as that. Or if it's a model builder inspiring, you know, kids to do something. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox, and I really believe in this. And once I get my bucks, I'll put the bucks where my mouth is and go from there. Anyway, guys, it's been my pleasure. It's been my pleasure hosting, and thank you all for inspiring me too in model building. Thanks, Heath, for showing up, and you got to get a little more hair up there.
I'm just going to say one thing: that imagination is the true gift.
Oh yes.
If there's anything that I've learned from hanging out with you guys, it is imagination is the true gift, and never lose it.
No.
Never lose it.
We can't be old enough. We can't be too old. I think we just didn't grow up. We may have gray hair, but we didn't grow up.
That's true.
And James, thank you for sharing. You're awesome. And welcome to the world of plastic, but I hear you're going back to paper again.
Oh, yeah. I float in and out all the time, so thank you, Derek.
Just the same as I go between sci-fi and cars.
Yeah.
And possibly a jet or two or a helicopter or two. Anything that flies, I'm in for, except I like cars. I like cars too. And thanks, Jay, for sharing too what you knew about the project that Kim is working with, and perhaps we'll see more as things evolve.
I'd like to mention one more thing about it very quickly, and that is all of the perks that we have, any of them that are $25 and above, 10% of that money, of the proceeds, will be donated to the National Multiple Sclerosis Society.
Oh, really?
Yes. So, you know, we're not just trying to raise money for that. We're also trying, you know, for the model. We're trying to raise money for, you know, the MS Society.
Oh, I didn't know. Nice. I should have taken a closer look at the website. And the website, I just say New Enterprise. Just Google New Enterprise or go to Indiegogo, and you'll find
Indiegogo and search for a new enterprise.
Yes. And thanks, Mike, for sharing your trials and tribulations towards your airbrush.
Well, I'm promoting that airbrush on the basis that it works.
Well, yeah.
No, I don't. If I had an airbrush that didn't work, I probably wouldn't say a word about it. Don't forget your Pash A-shoots, and your Pash C's. They work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm going to promote this clamp because it works.
Yeah, until a little plastic end breaks.
And Wayne, thanks for joining and sharing your inspiration and your models.
I'll show you them. They're life color sets.
Oh, okay.
They're basically wall-based, but you can fill them down, use them in airbrush.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be using that on the E75 tank.
Wow.
And don't forget, guys. Oh, sorry, Wayne.
Now these online. These are airbrush masking for camouflage.
Sweet. Who makes those?
It says Jay's Works.
Oh, I do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. I forgot about them.
Thanks to you then. Yeah, I've been trying to find a red oxide colour for like a base coat, then do some like chipping work on it when I'm finished.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to get some Mamo boxes, but I found out I've got them already because it's an 88/100.
The red Vallejo primer is the red Vallejo primer is an excellent red oxide color.
Yep.
And don't forget, guys, on Saturday night we've got the Isle of Misfits Hangout. Hope to see you guys there too.
Okay. The Isle of Misfit Model Builders.
Yes.
That's right.
Google Plus community. Excellent.
Come
all right,
over.
and all of you are watching, thank you for watching, and thank you for just because you watch, you're inspiring us. Isn't that great? And no, really, thank you for watching, and happy modeling, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good morning.
All right.